Hi, my name is Nick Lawler. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the 2017 NFL Draft. Ahead of the draft, I have a mock draft that I prepared and an analysis of some of the picks. So let's get started. For the first overall pick, the Cleveland Browns are going to take Myles Garrett. This is a no-brainer pick. He's a once-in-a-generation talent, and he's a franchise player. That's everything the Browns need in one. They cannot mess this pick up. Second overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers are going to take Solomon Thomas. I know that they have taken defensive linemen in the last two drafts in the first round, but he's a perfect fit for this defense, and he really completes that line. Makes it a whole better... Oh, my God. I'm messing up. Stop. I think we're going... Hi, my name is Nick Lawler. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the 2017 NFL Draft. I prepared a mock draft and analysis ahead of the draft, and I'm here to share with you. Let's get started. With the first overall pick, the Cleveland Browns are going to take Myles Garrett. This is a no-brainer pick. He's a once-in-a-generation talent, and he's a franchise player. This is everything the Browns need in one player, and they cannot mess this pick up. The second overall pick, the Niners are going to take Solomon Thomas. He's a perfect fit for that defensive line down there, and it doesn't even matter that they've taken defensive linemen in the last two drafts in the first round. He's better than both of those guys, and he's a better talent. He's definitely going to complete that line down there. The third overall pick, Jamal Adams, goes to the Bears. He's a tone setter. He's versatile. He can play both safety positions, and he ran a 4.4 at his pro day, which destroyed any doubts about his speed. The fourth overall pick, the Jaguars are going to take Leonard Fournette. He's a great fit, and it takes a big need down there. They had no running game whatsoever to help out Bortles, and the other running backs just didn't get the job done, so they're going to have to take the best running back available. Fifth overall pick, the Titans are going to take Marshawn Lattimore. They need another cornerback even after they signed Logan Ryan this year. He's a shutdown cornerback, and he has great speed. The sixth overall pick, the Cleveland Browns are going to take Mitch Trubisky. They're going to trade up with the Jets to select him. I'm not big on the guy, but the Browns will be the Browns. They need a quarterback, and that's not going to stop them from reaching for one. What's one more quarterback to add to the 26 since 1999, right? The Los Angeles Chargers are going to take Malik Hooker with the seventh overall pick. They really need a safety, someone to replace Eric Weddle. They've been missing that for the last couple of years, ever since he left. This kid has been compared to Ed Reed, and when you're compared to a Hall of Famer of that prestige, you're doing something right. He has great potential, and he has a chance to be one of the best safeties in the game in his first couple of years of playing. The eighth overall pick, the Carolina Panthers are going to take Jonathan Allen. He has a lot of edge rushing potential, and he did drop down the draft a little bit because of some shoulder concerns. But the Panthers don't care about that right now. He has great pedigree coming from Alabama, and he left Alabama as the second leading tackler, or the second leading sack, and second in sacks and fourth in tackles for loss in Alabama history, and that's absolutely amazing. For the ninth overall pick, the Bengals are going to select Reuben Foster, also out of Alabama. There are some character concerns. He did get kicked out of the combine during a medical checkup, and he did have a diluted sample at the combine. These aren't a concern at this point. He drops down to number 9. Cincinnati has a need for linebacker, and he is the best player on the board by far. The 10th overall pick, the Bills are going to take Mike Williams. He's a number 1 overall. He's a number 1 wide receiver. He's a prototypical wide receiver, and he has good speed for his size, and the Bills really need a wide receiver to take the pressure off Sammy Watkins, who just can't seem to stay healthy down there in Buffalo. The 11th overall pick, the Saints are going to take Derek Barnett, edge rusher out of Tennessee. He's one of the most productive edge rushers in recent history, and he broke Reggie White's sack record at Tennessee, which is an absolute amazing accomplishment, and they really need that for their defense down there. The 12th overall pick are the Jets, since they traded down with the Browns, and they're going to take O.J. Howard, tight end out of Alabama. This is a huge need. They've had almost no production from the tight end spot the last 2 years, and they really need a security blanket down there for whoever's playing quarterback. He's an amazing prospect and a freak athlete, and he's going to do good for the Jets. Number 13 overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals are going to take Corey Davis out of Central Michigan. I'm really big on Corey Davis. He's a great player, and you saw him elevate everyone on the field when he was at Central Michigan. He's just that kind of player. They really need to help out Carson Palmer, who kind of digressed last year. You kind of saw that from him. And Corey Davis is ready to step in day one and help. For the 14th overall pick, the Eagles are going to take Christian McCaffrey. He's a very explosive playmaker, very dynamic player, and he's going to be a great fit for that offense down there. There are concerns about him being a workhorse running back, but the Eagles take a chance on him. He's the best running back left in the draft, so they're going to take a chance on him. The 15th overall pick, Indianapolis Colts are going to take Hassan Reddick out of Temple. He started off at Temple as a walk-on defensive back. They transitioned to defensive line. However, he's going to the NFL as a linebacker. He's a total athlete, and that's just what the Colts need right now. He can also offer some pass rush potential, and the Colts really need that for that defense. For the 16th overall pick, the Ravens are going to take Charles Harris, outside linebacker from Missouri. This was supposed to be Garyon Conley, but due to some accusations earlier this week, had to drop him off the first round. Instead, the Ravens get a great player in Charles Harris, and he's going to be a good replacement for Elvis Dumerville. For the 17th overall pick, the Redskins are going to take Forrest Lamp. He's the best player left in the draft, in my opinion, and they really need offensive linemen. And I think when you combine best player available and big need, you get Forrest Lamp, and it's going to be great for him. The 18th overall pick, the Titans are going to take John Ross. In the NFL, speed kills, and in the league that everybody is getting bigger, stronger, and faster, you need speed. John Ross has speed, and he has a lot of it. There are some concerns about some atrocious medical reports, and a lot of teams have dropped him off the board completely. However, the Titans really need wide receivers right now, and I don't think they are too concerned about the medical reports, so they're going to take a chance on John Ross. The number 19th overall pick, the Buccaneers are going to take Dalvin Cook. There are some off-the-field concerns and attitude concerns, and he did have some shoulder injuries earlier in the year, but they cannot sit around waiting for Doug Martin to get healthy and get out of trouble. So they're going to take an explosive running back out of Florida State. 20th overall pick, the Bryans select Ryan Ramczyk. He's a great athlete, and he comes from a really good school that's good at producing offensive linemen. They have the most offensive linemen in the league right now, and he's going to make an easy transition and help out that Broncos offense. 21st overall pick, the Lions are going to take Taco Charlton from Michigan. He has a great size-length combination. He's very flexible off the edge and getting to that quarterback, and he's going to complement Ezekiel Anza down there in Detroit really well. 22nd overall pick, the Dolphins are going to take Marlon Humphrey from Alabama. He's an absolute stud, and he raises up the board because of Conley's off-field issues. He's going to do great for him down there. Byron Maxwell, the current cornerback for the Miami Dolphins, said that they were only one cornerback away from being their own Legion of Boom, where he came from in Seattle. So hopefully Marlon Humphrey can make that happen. 23rd overall pick, the Giants are going to take Garrett Bowles out of Utah. He will be 24 or he will be 25 by the time the season starts. But the Giants previously said that 25 is still really young. They're not really concerned with the age. And they need somebody on that line to keep Eli Manning upright. Otherwise, he's going to be joining his brother in Papa John's commercials pretty soon. 24th overall pick, the Raiders are going to take Jabril Peppers. He's a dynamic athlete, and he's very versatile. He can play linebacker, either safety position. Great athlete. This is a classic case of potential versus production. And they're really hoping that his potential can translate into production on the field on Sundays. 25th overall pick, the Texans are going to take Patrick Mahomes. This guy has a cannon of an arm, and he can launch the ball deep to Will Fuller all day on go routes. He's not my second best quarterback that I have graded, but the Texans love him, and if he falls down to their pick, they will be sprinting to the draft board to draft this guy. 26th overall pick, the Seahawks are taking Cam Robinson. He's very pro-ready, possibly the most pro-ready lineman in the draft right now. He has a lot of pass protection technique that needs to be fixed, but he's a really good run blocker, and that's going to be good for any running back they're trying to bring up there in Seattle. The 27th overall pick, the Chiefs are going to take Gerard Davis. He's a good linebacker from Florida, and he can play a lot of meaningful snaps early next to Derek Johnson, and that could help out that Kansas City defense. 28th overall pick is going to be Takaris McKinley from UCLA to the Cowboys. He never gives up. He has probably the best motor in the draft. And I really like this guy's background. He came up through a lot to be where he is, and he's not going to stop anytime soon. I really think they love that pick right now. The 29th overall pick, the Packers are going to take T.J. Watt. He has really great pedigree. You might have heard of his brother, J.J. He only had 1 year of starting down in Wisconsin, but it was a really fantastic year. He played a couple different positions, in a couple different schemes, but he's going to do great in the Packers scheme, and I think that's why they take him. 30th overall pick, the Steelers are going to take Deshaun Watson. They need somebody developed behind Ben Roethlisberger, who all of a sudden became a retirement risk. He's a giant winner. He wins every game. He plays his best in the big spots, and that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers need. 31st overall pick, the Falcons are going to take David Njoku out of Miami. This guy is a freak athlete. He was a high jump champion in high school, and now he's playing tight end, and he's going to go play for Matt Ryan as they make another Super Bowl run. 32nd overall pick, the last pick in the first round, the Saints are going to take Quincy Wilson, another cornerback who kind of rises up the board because of Gary and Conley's off-field issues. But this is a big need for the New Orleans Saints, and he's a great press cover guy. They have a few options. They could also switch this pick back to the Patriots in exchange for Malcolm Butler. There have been reports of that earlier in the year. So here's my mock draft, and I'm done. So thank you for listening.